My name is Jack Owen, I'm 21 and I have autism. I was diagnosed with autism in April 2012, so I would have been 15, but I've had autism pretty much all my life. I'm in university, I study maths and physics, I am in my second year, nearing the end. I have plenty of friends with autism. I've always connected well with them, and in particular there's this one place I go to where people with autism can just hang out and make friends, join groups, hang out with other people with autism. Some of my friends who have autism, they are more sensitive to things. So there's some who wear headphones around because they have more sensitive hearing. There's some who wear sunglasses to try to block out the light. There's one friend I know who has a sensitive smell, and smells can annoy him. I don't personally have any of that, but I know it is a symptom of autism. What is it like to have autism? My answer is, what is it like to not have autism? I don't know what it's like to not have autism, so I'm not sure how to compare it. The best I've heard it is I'm going through a stage play and I'm the only one without a script. I think that's somewhat adept to an answer, but I'm not quite sure, because I'm sure there's people who don't have autism who would answer that same answer as well, who would say, oh, I don't have a script either. So it's kind of hard for me to compare the two personally, and that's the frustrating part, not being able to convey what it's like to have autism, because I don't know what it's like to not have autism. What are the pros and cons of having autism? Well, I can think of some cons. I'm a bit more antisocial than the average person. I find it hard to understand other people, and they find it hard to understand me a bit. I remember annoying my mother with my sarcasm because she didn't know I had sarcasm. I was being sarcastic. On the upside, I'm not sure if this is to do with my autism, or at least how much of it is to do with it, but I am a bit more independent. I'm very comfortable in my own skin. What did I think when I was diagnosed with autism? Well, I had to look it up at some of the symptoms, and things started to make sense. I looked at that and said, oh yeah, that's me, that is. But no sense of humour, or at least a hard grasp of humour. Yeah, I have that. I can't remember any others. I didn't mind. It was, like I said, my mother worked with people with dyslexia and autism. I've been around people with dyslexia and autism longer than autism especially, not so much dyslexia. It worked for quite a while before I got diagnosed. So it just was something about me that I discovered, something that could be given a name. Apparently there is a bit of a thing against autism, a bit of a prejudice, and I can completely understand that. I believe it if someone was to say it, but I never experienced it personally. I remember actually being with a kind of friend who was asking me to go and talk about my experiences having autism, and I was saying, well, I'm not a good example because my mother worked with people with dyslexia and autism and the like in her school. In my school, in fact. So I had a mother who was very much aware of it. I had a school that was alright with it. So I personally do not have much bad experiences as a result of my autism. So I'm not a good example for that at all. If there's a cure for autism, I would not take it. Autism is part of me, it's part of my personality. What you're asking me is, would I change myself? And no. There's some people out there who have extreme enough autism that I'm sure they would take it so that they could have an easier life. But for someone like me who's milder, who doesn't have those problems, I would not take it, and I would not want a cure for all people with autism. Not even most, I don't think. I know that some higher extremes of autism can cause a lot of problems and pain for both the person experiencing it and the people around it potentially. But not all of it is like that. Some of it is just part of who we are and I don't think needs help at all. Well, a bit of help, but not completely removing. When I was working in the nurture group, my mother asked me why I a lot of the times kept my hood up when I was outside. And she asked me it because she wanted to see if it was the same reason why another person wore his hat all the time. And it made me realise not only that I was doing it, but why I was doing it. Because it creates a kind of mini shelter between me and the rest of the world. It creates a mini shield between me and outside. I'm Jack, and I'm living with autism.